What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to another poker vlog. In this one, we're playing some cash games in the lovely island of St. Martin, playing a bunch of tournaments, and of course, had to dabble in the cash games as well, and the action is just like no other. Everyone's on vacation, people are drunk, it's a 2-5 game, but it's uncapped, so things get absolutely out of hand, and it's just a lot of fun, so hopefully you enjoy it. Just have to give a big thank you to everyone who has purchased the mystery luck box, and on top of the new Rampage collection merch here. I'm glad everyone likes the new hoodies. Thank you for everyone who has ordered and supported the channel, and I can't wait to announce the 10 golden ticket winners. Waiting on all the selfies to be sent in, compile it all together, and announce it on the vlog, so big thank you to everyone who has supported one, and you just might win $1,000, so still a few left up for grabs, it seems like, so click the link in the description below, grab one of them, and I'm looking forward to making that video, so big shout out to everyone who has purchased, and let's get into the video. These hands are nuts. Hopping into the 2-5 cash game streets, I am in for an absurd buy-in of $5,000 in 2-5 stakes. Anyways, first hand, let's get dealt in. I pick up a premium ace-king offsuit on the big blind. There's a hijack limp and a cutoff raise to $25. The button now ends up jamming for $168 total, and I have not even acted yet. Yes, welcome to St. Martin. Anyways, the small blind folds and actions onto me. The cutoff player has about $200 in his stack, so I have a pretty easy all-in. I rip it, covering everyone at the table, and the cutoff calls for $230. The button is already all in for about $170. It's a three-way all-in, and I'm going to show the ace-king because, you know, it's a good hand, and why not? We're off to a board, which does not actually help me out too much. No improvement, as I'm sitting with ace-king high, and the cutoff shows ace-jack of spades, and the button slams down pocket jacks. Brad Owen's favorite hand, and I'm down to lose a decent chunk of money early on in this session. I lose $168 for the main pot, but I do pick up a small side pot of like $50, give or take. So overall, lose $100, give or take, with ace-king, and that's how the action gets started in this session. In the following hand, I pick up 8-6 of clubs in the small blind. Action folds around to me. I ask the big blind if he wants to chop, and he says no, so let's battle it out. I raise it up to $30, and this player makes the call. We're off to a flop of 7-7-6 rainbow with one club, so I flop open-ended and happy to bet now as I have a draw open-ended and a backdoor flush draw. I bet out $20 and he makes the call. Turn gives us a 6, which is not too bad. Pair and a straight draw now, so I decide to slow down and check. Don't think I get too much value from worse. He bets out $75, and sure, easy call here as played. Hit my pair, not going to go anywhere. Going to a river, which comes a 10. Card over my pair. It doesn't improve me, but anyways, I'm hoping to get the showdown, and I decide to check. This player fires out a bet of 180. I didn't fly all the way out of the country to fold in a cash game, right? As played, I think I just have to make the call, although I'm pretty uncomfortable. I say screw it though, let's gamble. I toss in a chip, and he says nice call, and shows us king-queen offsuit. King high, sir, is not going to take it. I'm going to scoop the pot with just a pair of 6s, and just like that, I'm unstuck after that first hand. Hand after that, let's get into a more gambling mood. I pick up king jack offsuit in the small blind. There's a hijack raise to $30, and it looks like he doesn't have too many chips in front of him, sitting on a short stack, and like I said, I'm ready to gamble. I make the call, although it's not really advised. We're off to a flop, heads up, which comes king 10-4 rainbow, amazing flop with top pair. I check. He rips it all in for about $135, and I didn't flop top pair to fold, so you know I'm already in here. I call with the top pair. The runout is clean for the most part, and he shows us pocket jacks. I sucked out on the flop, and I get paid. Welcome to the nice life of playing poker. As you can see from some of my live streams, poker is pretty hard. Not only are there bad beats, but it's a combination of difficult decision making, complex math, and a deep understanding of human psychology. It's not for everyone, and you have to be smart and quantitative and also creative and be ready to pounce on new opportunities. So when I heard about Masterworks, today's sponsor, and their value prop, I knew it would resonate with you because they're playing to the most dependable projection out there, the law of supply and demand. Here, I'll explain. Masterworks is the premier platform for investing in high value art, where members collectively invest in multiple million-dollar artworks, so you don't need millions yourself. Your investment is sized based on your needs. So back to the supply and demand, the value here is pretty clear. They're not making any more Picasso paintings, so supply is pretty small. And with new millionaires made every 17 minutes in 2021, you can be sure there's plenty of demand and it's only growing. Masterwork capitalizes on this intense demand in a big way, analyzing millions of data points to find artist markets with strong potential for appreciation. After identifying trending markets, they leverage their years of art buying experience to source and ultimately acquire these paintings. And since I've been talking about them on the channel here, they've been blown away by the response from you guys. I'm not exaggerating here. Masterworks sent me the stats. We've invested over $160,000 onto their platform. That's $160,000 into paintings by Banksy and Picasso, to name a few. That level of participation might sound incredible, but what you don't know is that each of the 3 paintings Masterworks has sold has returned over 30% net IRR to their investors. But legally, I have to add that past performance is no guarantee of future results, but 30+% is pretty amazing. If you want to join, it's as easy as clicking my special link in the description below. Skip the waitlist and get started on Masterworks today.
In the following hand, I pick up the suited variety of King Jack, this time of hearts in the cutoff. There's an early position player who limps. I raise it up to $30. There's a button who makes the call to my left. The early position player who limped now does something that I don't really approve or love. He actually limp raises, back raises to 80 though, so it's a pretty small raise all things considered. Not really a fun situation to be in, but I have 2 playable suited Broadway cards. I make the call with him having about $500 in his stack, and the button actually comes along as well. So we've got action, 3 ways to a flop, which comes King Jack 10 Rainbow. Wow. Love seeing this flop here with top 2 pair. Got to assume that I'm going to win this pot a lot of the time. Anyways, this early position player decides on a check, which I thought was a little interesting considering the board texture. Anyways, I bet out $200 here. Got to go for value. A lot of hands I can get value from. The button folds and the early position player rips it all in. Wow, this seems super strong. I wouldn't be surprised if he showed me a set somehow, but for only $465 total, I put in so much. It's only $260 for me to call. I'm in here, and he only has ace queen. Of course, flopped the nuts, and okay. Let's try to hit our 4 outs, and no. Fat L, not feeling great about it. He limp raised pre-flop, then check jammed on the flop after flopping the nuts. Kudos to you for having a strong hand. Let's move on to pocket aces in the hijack. Got to win this one, right? There's an early position player who limps. Facing another limp. This time I have a really strong hand. I raise it up to $30. Our buddy Wolfgang on the button actually makes the call. Small blind, big blind, limper, all decide to call too. So why not go multi-way, 5 ways to a freaking flop with aces? And it comes 7-7-4 to diamonds. Okay. Not a bad flop, and here action checks to me, and I'm thinking here multi-way. It's a spot where I'm either going to be way ahead or way behind if someone could have a 7. I obviously am never really going to have a 7 too often as played pre-flop, so I check it over to the button player, and Wolfie decides to bet out $30. Smallboy makes the call, and other players fold to me. Aces here. As played, I am just going to make the call. I think raising is a little bit of an overplay. So we're going to see a turn 3 ways, which comes a queen. Now the small blind decides to lead for $75. Thinking it's a pretty weird spot to be in. I guess he could have like the queen high flush draw, which would give him top pair and a flush draw. Anyways, I'm first praying he doesn't have a 7. And at this point in the night, everyone's either tired or really drunk. So I have aces. I make the call. Wolfgang folds. We're off to a river now, which comes another 7. Wow, okay. Looks like we don't really have to be afraid of a 7 anymore. I mean, we're sitting with the second nuts and only losing to quads. And, quads are pretty hard to make. Surprisingly, he decides to check. And I look at his stack. He's got about $800 in there. And I think this is a pretty good spot to go all in. a 2x jam compared to the size of the pot. And I get value from all queens, some bluff catchers, and obviously we just have the second nuts. I rip it all in, and he calls. He calls quickly with 7-4 of spades. That is a pretty good hand, sir. He flopped a boat, pretty much flopped us dead, and rivered quads and gets paid. What a sick life for him to check on the river after making quads and getting ripped all in into. Can you imagine that situation? You get quads and then someone goes all in front of your eyes? Can't make it up. I lose with aces here with the second nuts. Pretty painful hand to play. Okay, let's try to make some money back or something, right? I pick up ace queen offsuit on the button. There is an ungun straddle on board and I raise it up to $35. The small blind to my left immediately 3-bets to 140. He started with about $500 in a stack. And when action folds to me, I just got out of playing a bunch of tournaments, so sitting with about 50 big blinds effective, basically in tournament mode. And given the positions, I'm in position, but I think I'd rather just go all in and ride the variance, right? I rip it all in, and this player calls super quickly. Dear God, let's just hope we're flipping, and I see good news. He has pocket tens. We debate for a long time whether we want to run it once or twice. This guy is pretty drunk and can't decide, as it's his birthday, so happy birthday to you. Let's just go for one run out after a long time of debating, and we're off to a flop. Turn and river could not beat the birthday boy, and after the run out, pocket tens is going to hold and win, pay him a total of $490, so I get a $10 discount with what I thought was a $500 all-in. Just absolutely getting crushed here, but at least it's good content, right? Not sure how I feel about it as my wallet's hurting, but if you could just hit that like button, it makes the pain feel a little bit better. Okay, the last hand to end the night. The casino closes in a few minutes. The poker room closes, and there's no better way to bump up the action than a $10 straddle. The player to my right limps for $10, calls blind, and I decide to bump up the action. I blind raise to $100, one blackbird in the middle, and then I actually end up peeling a really good hand. Queen 10 of hearts, no freaking way. Anyways, with essentially a $100 straddle on board, the player to my left thinks about it for a while as he's first to act and ends up going all in for $1,250 total. Wow. It's basically a 12 big blind jam, so it's not a lot considering my blind raise as I've completely bumped up the size of the game. Action folds around to the button, who thinks about it for a long time, and this is the player that actually made quads on the river, playing 7-4 suited, and he ends up making the call for $1,250. This player has about $1,000 behind. Onto the player who limps, he actually ends up calling for about $400 to $500. Basically, I've seen 3 all-ins, and it's my time to gamble. With suited Broadway cards, I can't really ask for more after blind raising to 100. And like I said, it's late into the night, and I didn't come to St. Martin to not gamble. I make the call for $1,250. It's quite the shit show in the middle, as we're playing for one main pot, and a bunch of other little side pots that's going on, and there's still $1,000 to play for against one other opponent. So there are 2 players that are all in, and I'm playing against another player with about $1,000 in a stack. Anyways, after all that, we're off to see a flop of Jack 9, flopping open-ended, and I'm just going to commit my stack in the middle or commit to my opponent's stack. He's got about 1,000 behind, and I've got a good draw. I jam, and he snap calls with ace freaking jack. Why wouldn't he basically flop the nuts? And I'm still plenty alive, still have a bunch of outs. Let's try to hit. Turn and river come Brick City. Queen high is gonna get thrown into the muck. The player to my left, who originally went all in for $1,250, had ace 6 of clubs, which was pretty sick as he turned a flush draw. And now I am stuck piles with the casino closing soon. At least it was a fun night of gambling, right? Okay, it is 5 a.m. in the morning time, And this place, as you can see, is totally cleared out, and so is apparently my chip stack bankroll poker thing. I don't even know what you call it. For reference, this was actually the first cash session I played after the Hustler live stream. I uploaded things all out of order, whatever. Real time, first cash session after playing on the Hustler live stream, where I lost a pile and relatively ran pretty bad. The last hand was just like full gamble. 2-5 game, uncapped, bought in for 6,500, out for 2,340. Whew. Okay, maybe I just stick to tournaments from now on. I don't know what to say. A lot of fun hands, really big pots. That's it. Thanks so much for watching this one. Played for a while. Leave a like. Pity likes are always still appreciated. Losing the money hurts, and running not amazing is not ideal, and I don't know, that's just part of poker. And you know, I've been running pretty hot my entire poker career, in quotations. So it's just due to not win every single session and all that. So hopefully you got some entertainment out of this one. Absolute shit show. A lot of fun. I had fun losing $4,000. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully it goes better. Peace.